grandparents posing as a lawyer, pretending the grandchild is in jail and in need of bail money. 88-year-old Gloria Castelli from Rhode Island picked up the phone to hear this question.
Do you have a grandson?
She said yes, and the person on the other side replied,
We need money to bail him out, a lawyer. And I said, what is his name?
Castelli says they weren't able to answer and she knew it was a scam. The FBI says this scam has nabbed $1.9 million in the first 9 months of this year. Hemwin, ABC News, Washington.
3 weeks into a strike, teachers in Portland, Oregon temporarily shut down a major bridge during the morning commute. A Pennsylvania judge today ruled that mail-in ballots without an accurate handwritten date on the exterior envelope must be counted if it's received in time. The decision has implications for the 2024 presidential election in a key battleground state. You're listening to ABC.
From the KMET Weather Center, high wind warning remains in effect until 2 p.m. for the Inland Empire and the valleys. For the Beaumont Banning the Pass area this afternoon, we'll have sunny skies with gusty winds, high 70, winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. Clear, less wind tonight, low 52. Sunny Wednesday, high 72. For the Inland Empire this afternoon, sunny with a high of 76, sunny for Palm Springs. I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi for Smart Talk 1490, KMET.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
Welcome to KMET 1490 AM ABC News Radio and the Southern California Business Report with Yvette Walker, a show dedicated to highlighting successful Southern California businesses and the people behind them.
Welcome and thank you for joining Southern California Business Report on ABC News and Talks, KMET 1490 AM, 98.1 FM, and KMET TV. I'm Yvette Walker, live blasting our signal from the center of Southern California, serving a population of over 25 million. Get us crystal clear and on demand by downloading the free live streaming app on Google Play and the Apple App Store. As always, a huge shout out to the team, Mitch, Bill, and Sean, I love you, and to our special advisory committee that can be found at www.scbrtalk.com/advisory committee. Check them out and learn about our amazing leaders. All right, everybody, today I have the extreme honor to introduce Jeff and Seth Burum. Jeff Burum is managing partner of the Empire Strykers and president of the MASL, a premier indoor soccer team that play at Toyota Arena, and chairman of National Community Renaissance. In 1991, using his own resources, Mr. Burum co-founded National Community Renaissance in response to the need for affordable housing in San Bernardino. 5 years later, wanting to provide more than shelter to low-income families and seniors, he co-founded the Hope Through Housing Foundation to offer programs and services that transform the lives of residents. Today, National Core is one of the largest national nonprofit affordable housing developers in the country. Seth, his son, was born and raised in the Inland Empire. Playing soccer his whole life, Seth played for Legends Football Club, Los Angeles Football Club, Cosmos Football Club, Golden State Academy, Loyola High School, Marymount, California University, and UC Riverside. He has a bachelor's degree in business marketing and began working for the Empire Strykers franchise as a special assistant in 2022. His devotion and belief in the Empire drives him every day to work toward getting the club its ultimate goals and vision. Thank you so much both for being here today.
Thank you, Yvette.
Thank you for having us.
Perfect. All right. So as you know, I'm going to start with the first question. It's going to go to you, Jeff. Jeff, again, please share what inspired you to pursue now becoming the manager and president of MASL. Well, first of all, president of MASL and the managing partner of the Empire Strykers.
Well, Yvette, I fell in love with the game when it first started playing at Toyota Arena when it had a suite. And then my kids, fell in love with it and they wanted to go to all the games. And so when an opportunity presented itself to help the club out and to keep it alive, inspiring youth in our valley, I thought it, of all sports in the Empire out in our area, the Latino population inspiring the youth became paramount to me in the vision for our club, which, eventually now has led to my trying to inspire other franchises around our country with new standards of how we can operate, a vision for the future of our league. In today's modern world with live streaming and so many games like cornhole and, pickleball and, all these other, community sports, really, right? That professional indoor soccer needs to reclaim its place in history when it used to be the most popular sport played indoors in the 70s and 80s.
I love it. And Seth, please share what it is that inspired you to, jump in and be a part of the Empire Strykers indoor soccer team that plays at Toyota Arena.
So like my dad, I started going to the games around the age of 15, 16 years old and fell in love with it. We started going to every game since the first game we went. And then eventually, my dad got involved with it and I, followed it a little bit more closer. And then kind of the second I graduated from college, it was time to start helping out.
I love it. That's dedication and a great role model for you. Back to you, Jeff. Talk a little bit more about what it means to the Empire Strykers to have you also serving as the MASL president.
Well, Yvette, we're trying to do something special here with the Strykers. When Seth said he wanted to come work, for me at the soccer club versus the real estate company, it really made me realize, that he's just, the embodiment of the youth in our valley when he fell in love with the sport. And so we've been striving to set a standard of giving back to the community, making public appearances, inspiring the youth, trying to do as many public appearances as humanly possible for our franchise. And as I started getting into, what's really holding back our franchise and how it related to the league, that's why we went through the rebranding last year to open it up to a larger, group of communities. So it didn't look like we were one, city's, franchise where highest level professional sport played in the Empire. No one else has the highest, level. Most are feeder clubs, whether it's baseball or basketball or hockey. But we're a major league sport, and I wanted us to start acting like it, candidly, both in its give back to the community, but in its professionalism. There are many franchises that are in great markets around our country that play in our league, and we've got some great owners. But we needed to standardize our process. We needed to standardize our league and what we do in our local communities. We needed to share best practices, and we needed to, collaborate on what was best for youth in soccer in our country, which all these owners are great individuals. And the root of all of us at the core is we love soccer. We want to help the youth and we want to inspire the next generation. So, when I started sharing some of the vision that I had this past June board meeting with some of the things that, Seth will help share that he's been working on the social media and the app side, it started to inspire some of the other league owners. And so it just started to grow. And at this point, one of our big goals was to get back on major broadcasts, which we haven't been for a while. So we hopefully have some great announcements coming up between now and the next month or so about all these things we've been working on.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. Seth, since your father's appointment as MASL president, does that mean increased responsibilities for you and increased opportunities to learn, the true nuts and bolts of what it takes to run a franchise like the Empire Strykers?
Yes. So for responsibilities, I would say more that, the standards of, our staff and myself have obviously been risen since, him being the president of the MASL. We really want to, stand out within the league and, be a, try to lead the pack for the rest of the teams. So definitely the standards have increased, and especially the opportunities I recently went to New York for a combine and, was able to meet some of the other the other coaches and general managers, and was able to talk to them on kind of how they run their clubs, and, to see kind of how we compared to other clubs. And, I learned some stuff, on some things that we could bring back to the Empire, and a lot of new opportunities to learn always.
Oh, that is exciting. That's a great opportunity to learn. Jeff, please talk about the origins of the Empire Strykers and its evolution to date.
Well, the evolution of it was when Seth came on board, right? So he brought in a new youthful set of eyes. My eyes are getting old. I should probably be wearing glasses today because of my age. But he really brought in a view of what our league could be and what our franchise could be. I really focused early on just the community aspect, coordinating it with youth programs, soccer clubs, schools to make appearances. He really focused on, because Seth's a real soccer fan that he grew up. I didn't grow up following the best players in the world, watching Premier League games, Champions League games. Seth has. So he brought in to me, look, Dad, let's look what, the Champions League doing. He reached out to a young lady that was doing some graphics for some of the best clubs in the world, through, what these kids do through internet, direct messaging. Next thing he knows, he comes back and says, Dad, look at the new graphics we could use. And so when we started that, we started having issues in the club with some, copyright issues and some trademarks. He came with the idea that rebranding would be good for us for a lot of reasons. It wouldn't necessarily be a negative. And so he helped lead, he can tell you about, community survey that came up with the name, after the mascot, because we found out the mascot was the most popular person on our team. So the idea of the Empire is something that I truly believe in. We don't call ourselves the Inland Empire Strykers. We call ourselves the Empire Strykers because we are truly becoming our own empire out here. And I don't want us to be shortchanged in the way people view us. And so I really have started and helped create this image of Riverside and San Bernardino County being its own marketplace, its own, Orange County, its own LA County, its own region. And when you have 5 million people, I think we deserve it.
Absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, 5 million people calls for major sports and professional elevated sports, exactly what it is that you're bringing to the Inland Empire. So thank you for your dedication and for your devotion to our region to do that, to uplift, to inspire, to build communities through soccer. Seth, please talk about when the season starts and some of your favorite projects as we approach the new season with the Empire Strykers.
Yes. So some of my favorite projects for this season are, one of them is the fun edits and stuff for all of our highlights and for our gameplay. We started doing those last season, and they got some good feedback, and getting some fire going behind the goals and stuff like that. Adding that to the highlights, the kids enjoy them more. So fun edits kind of for the kids to enjoy the game a little bit more. And also we have a new Strykers app coming out that you can download on your phone, where will be all things Strykers, where you can see the roster, see the stats, see exclusive videos and photos of the team. You can buy tickets there, merchandise there. You can do everything that you could possibly think of on this new app. So that we're trying to debut by the home opener, and that will be a really good addition to the company. And also another project that the Strykers have been working on that's been for the MASL is a new fantasy iFootball for the league. So that is also in its final stages of being developed and finished, and that is going to be super exciting, getting the sponsors in there, hopefully getting some betting and all that fun stuff going on in the fantasy games. So we're really excited, especially for the fantasy football, along with our new app coming out.
That's exciting. Seth, please talk a little bit about what that app looks like and what fans can expect when they download it and start playing with it.
So yes, so for the fantasy football app, it's really simple, straightforward. It's like your NFL fantasy football, where you just go into the website, log in with your email and phone, and then literally from there we have kind of instructions on how you set up a draft, how many people you can put in your draft, setting times, and it's really straightforward. And if you've done fantasy football and sports before, then it'll be super easy to pick up on.
So it's fantasy football, but for professional soccer,
For indoor soccer. So
Okay.
yeah, we're still testing out the names. We're thinking, maybe fantasy iFootball or MASL fantasy. So still trying to get the little details down. But yes, fantasy indoor soccer.
Wow. So we're hearing it here first. How exciting. Jeff, tell us, what is it like having your son, Seth, work alongside you on these projects?
It's exhausting. he doesn't put it down. He loves the Strykers and lives it 7 days a week. He's got taken a little bit out after his dad, but sometimes at night when I just want to sit down and relax, it's all things Strykers, because he and I don't get to see much during each other during the day. We both have busy schedules, and I'm just trying to learn, Yvette. I want to help the Strykers. I want to help my son. But they're the future. It's his eyes that the world needs to learn from, not mine. So what I'm really trying to do with him is collaborate as much as I can, understanding what he's trying to do, and then trying to lend some of that 40-year business experience that I bring to the table to try to help him understand how to make the things happen. Business plans, allocation of resources, allocation of staff, priorities, all those, as take time, and to understand how to use your experiences to the benefit of whatever you're trying to accomplish together. So it's exhausting at times, but it's the thing that makes me smile the most, right? I mean, I'm a dad. I can't, but be proud of my son, right? So.
Absolutely. Well, I can think of no better opportunity to, kind of hand the torch off, so to speak, while giving your son the opportunity to engage in something he truly loves. That is a blessing. So hats off to you. Seth, what can we expect as we look at the new season for the Empire Strykers? I know you're always working on new promotional items, family packages, ticket promotions. Please talk about what we can expect as we look at the new season moving forward.
Yeah. So to start, we're gonna have more, watch parties for our away trips and events for our season ticket holders to make our fans feel that love a little bit even more. Into the promotional side, we have a new batch of game themes and initiatives tied along with them. So, one night we'll have a $10 ticket night, another buy two or more, get one free. And one that's really exciting that we're starting this year is that every family in the Inland Empire will get the chance to attend one Stryker game for free. So, you pick whatever game that you want to go to, and, we'll let you attend that game for free to also help, get new fans into the arena that are a little bit hesitant or, maybe a little, short on the money to go to a game. So we just want to help out in any way we can to just get more people into the arena and, knowing about the Strykers and ultimately loving them.
Oh, that is amazing. So I know I need to get my season tickets. Do you have any Black Friday deals happening this week?
We will have a Black Friday special coming out this week. So stay tuned for that.
All right, perfect. And Seth, tell us, when does the season start and approximately how long does it last?
Shoot, I think we start season in 3 days, the day after Thanksgiving. So our first game is, I believe, the 25th of November. And, we start our season off on an away trip. So 2 games in Mexico. And then in a couple weeks, we'll travel to St. Louis. And then finally, our home opener will be on December 15th. And then our season will run to end of March / sometime in April, depending on how playoffs go and get into that championship. So March, April.
Oh, that's exciting. Does that mean you're going to be on the road with the team as well?
I will be doing some traveling with the team. I did some last season, and looking forward to doing more of that this season.
Oh, how exciting. Jeff, tell us about this year's team roster and what you are looking forward to the most as this year's MASL president.
Well, I'm looking forward to having a championship quality team. We did a bit of a rebuild in the off season for a lot of reasons. But the most important one is, Yvette, we're trying to build a franchise and a culture of our community. So we really want people to vest, to the best of ability, move out here, live out here, be part of our community, help with our community appearances, and really try to get these young soccer players to understand what a role model, looks like, feels like, because these aren't the highest paid professionals in our country, right? So, there's an education process, a cultural, development that occurs, some of these people from our different countries, different backgrounds. So what we're trying to do is indoctrinate them into our culture and what we're trying to do for the community. So, when we brought in the new coach, the new coach looked at the roster, came in with some pretty strong opinions about he wanted to build young, wanted to bring in some folks that he could cultivate over a period of time, help them develop as real players. And Seth and he and Jimmy Norberg went on a big recruiting plan this past summer. And so I think out of the 26 people roster, we have 21 new players. So
wow,
that's
a whole new team.
It's a whole new team. I know a lot of my fans weren't excited about it because they have some personal favorites, and that's how you relate. I mean, I get it. That's how you relate to your teams, is through the players and the individuals that you get to know. And we had great players, and I'm sad many of them are gone, and personally. But I've got to respect the wishes of my coach. I've got to respect the wishes of my community, and I really want to, we really want to build something special. And that's, I'm going to keep trying. That's who, I am. And that's what I try to, build. And the values of our organization is we want to build something special. And when the fans get to know the new folks that are coming in, I think they're going to be very impressed and very happy, as they get to know them. Right now, they don't really know many of them, so they're a little upset at me. But, it's like, listen, I was a child when I once had a conversation with Bobby Grich, because he got traded when I was a baseball player, and I stopped watching baseball from that moment on. I was a Baltimore Orioles fan back in the day. And, I said, I'm not going to watch that team anymore because they traded my favorite player. Well, until I started realizing, that my favorite player actually demanded to be traded so he could make more money. And so really wasn't the organization's fault. People don't always know that. They just hold, franchises responsible for, what they do. But all I can tell you is I've committed to trying to build a championship quality cultural team that will perform on the pitch as well as in the community.
That is so exciting. It sounds like a breath of fresh air and new energy on the field. When I go down there and I watch those games, you can't help but get pulled into the action of the game and feel like you're in the middle of it, and that's what I love about the indoor soccer environment. It's constant play. It doesn't go out of bounds. It's always fast moving, high action. And no matter where you sit within the Toyota Arena with only 10,000 seats, you are bound to have the perfect view. So I'm just really excited to see the new team out on the field this season. Seth, what is it like finding and securing quality players for the Empire Strykers?
I love it. I love soccer. So I think it's a really fun and enjoyable process. Like my dad said, it was a completely rebuilt team this summer. So you can imagine we were super busy, going to and relying on, all the local, summer cash tournaments to find players. There was a big tournament on the East Coast that, we got some players from, and, really relying on people in the soccer world that we know and trust. And, even some of our players, like I said, the East Coast, like none of our staff was out there, and we had to rely on our players to kind of help us scout and stuff like that. So really, going to as many places as we can and, relying on the people, that we can trust and, when we trust their opinions on players. So, another thing to note is that, like my dad said, we're not really looking for players anymore. We've always been able to find, good players and put them on the field. And now we're really, focusing on trying to find, the right people and leaders at the same time that, really want to give back, support and invest in our community. Not just play on a field and, call it a day. We're looking for someone that, wants to be here and in the Empire for a long time and, really invest in the people around them that, are coming to support them every game.
That is incredible. And so what do you think about your almost completely new roster as we move into the new season?
I really like our new roster. I'm around the team quite a bit, at practice every day. And, from what I've seen last year and now this year is that, we completely have a different positive vibe and mindset amongst our players and coaches. There's a much greater cohesion going on right now with our players. So can't speak to how they're going to perform. Obviously, that's going to come down to them, but all the off the field stuff and cultural stuff is going really good right now for the team.
Beautiful. That is so exciting. All right. We are coming up on a break. So everybody listening, Yvette Walker here with ABC News and Talk, Southern California Business Report, today with Jeff Burum, Empire Strykers Managing Partner and MASL President, with Seth Burum, Empire Strykers Special Assistant and his son, Next Generation Community Leader, talking about the exciting upcoming season of indoor soccer at the Toyota Arena when we return.
Ontario International Airport is on to a better way to fly with over 65 daily nonstop flights to more than 20 major destinations and the easiest airport experience in Southern California. Visit flyonto.com/Ontario to learn more about Ontario International Airport today.
Hi, I'm Dana Rademacher with MGR Property Management.
A lot of people wonder about the value that property management has for their property. Property management can include all property types, including residential, commercial, and HOA. It is valuable because property managers are experienced in what can happen at your property. We're aware of liabilities. We're able to do predictive and preventative maintenance. We know what is coming up with the changes in the weather, the seasons, how old certain aspects or different capital projects at your property are. We're able to best negotiate contract pricing, legalities with your tenants, and anything else that you may need to ensure that you're getting the full value of the property.
If you're interested in speaking with the representative at MGR Property Management regarding your property management needs, you can visit our website at mgrrealestate.com, or you can call our number at area code 909-581-6600 to be connected with the representative.
The University of La Verne is rated first in California for alumni satisfaction. Learn more about accelerated programs offered online and on campus in La Verne, Irvine, Ontario, Burbank, or College of the Canyons. Visit go.laverne.edu. The University of La Verne. go.laverne.edu.
Welcome back, everyone. Yvette Walker with ABC News and Talk, Southern California Business Report, here today with Jeff Burum, Empire Strykers Managing Partner and MASL President, with Seth Burum, Empire Strykers Special Assistant, his son, and Next Generation Community Leader, talking about the exciting upcoming season of indoor soccer at the Toyota Arena. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks again, Yvette.
Perfect. Beautiful. So before the break, you gave us a little background of some of the major changes that we can expect as we look at the new season alongside the Empire Strykers, and kind of touched on some of the community involvement that the Strykers is well known for being a part of. Jeff, just as we mentioned, the Empire Strykers are deeply involved with the community and always giving back. How does that look moving forward?
Well, we really have some goals we're setting, some pretty lofty ones. We're on a path to try to make over 100 appearances during the next 6 months, which is pretty lofty goals for a professional franchise. I'm not sure any has ever done those kind of numbers in the history of any sports franchise. So we are literally working deals with our players to make 4 appearances a month. I think they made 2 or 3 last month alone to San Antonio Hospital, be visiting ill patients and people going in for surgeries and taking seniors flowers and, introducing themselves to both existing fans as well as just people, going through the hospital for their different reasons. And so, between the senior complexes in our valley, national core complexes of affordable housing where we're able to go meet with families and mentor the youth. And then obviously we're going to make a lot of appearances to every school district that we can possibly get into. We have some special partnerships this year with some of cities, both Upland, Rancho, Fontana, Ontario, and Eastvale are our community partners. They've signed community partnerships with us. So their communities will come out to all our games. We'll have one community night for each one of those cities. So we're doing everything that we can to try to get the community to know who we are, and let them know that we care, and try to inspire belief wherever we go with these great young men that that Seth and the coaches have recruited this past summer.
Absolutely. I mean, not only are they great to watch on the field, it's inspiring to know what they do off the field. And, I can't think of a better way to spend a Sunday afternoon or a weekday night, enjoying, 3-4 hours of high quality entertainment. The play on the field is nonstop, fast action, and for the value that you get when you're there with your family, because I have 3 children myself, you can't beat it. They're all happy, they're all smiles. All of my children have been through AYSO, and you'd think that they'd be, like, oh, I've had enough soccer. No, they want more, and they love it. And they love being able to go and see these, community leaders that, as you said, are giving back to the community, being people that they can look up to and be inspired by, not only by their work on the field, but as you mentioned, especially off the field. So thank you so much for that. Seth, please talk about your favorite community programs alongside the Empire Strykers. And I understand you're also going to be looking at some special nights as we look at the new season.
Yes. So some of my favorite programs that we do, I would probably say, are soccer clinics and camps that basically run all year, and also our national core after school programs. I feel like those are, really good for our players and the fans, since, we're able to teach the kids, soccer skills, which obviously our guys are professionals in, and obviously, give them life skills and, answer whatever questions they may have about their personal lives while we teach them soccer. And for our program nights that, we have coming up, we have, like I said, we have a bunch of new themes this year, to highlight a couple of them. On our second home game on the 27th of December, we'll be doing our traditional holiday game where we'll have our big stuffed animal toss, and you can bring in a stuffed animal for have the chance to get a raffle ticket to win an electric e-scooter. So that's fun. We have a international night where we're going to be celebrating all the different, international cultures, especially, our international and foreign players. So, having all the flags hanging up in the stadium, having a special auction jersey, maybe try to get some food vendors in there. And then also, finally, we can talk about our New Year's Kids Bash, which will be our first home game the first week of January, or January 9th, so the second week. That one's really exciting because we've also been working on a new teens club for the Strikers, where we'll have, literally a teens club on the outdoor patio at all of our games where, kids can play games, listen to music, socialize with each other. So like a new social hub for players to come to our Striker games. And we're going to be debuting that on our third game of the season. And hopefully we have a really successful season with it where we can branch that out to the rest of the MASL franchises.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting. So is that going to be in addition to the well, I've seen it every week. You do the ball toss, and I get my bag for Hope Through Housing. I think it's like $20 for like 50 balls, and then we throw them out to make them land in the hula hoop. Are you still going to continue that fun fundraiser for the Hope Through Housing Foundation?
Yes, that will still be in effect. The holiday animal toss will just be the first goal that's scored by the Strikers. Everyone's just gonna throw their stuffed animals onto the field, and then we're gonna donate those to local charities.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting. And it brings me to my next question, Jeff. Let's talk about your upcoming holiday event. It's Holiday Miracles at the Colony's Crossroads, which, by the way, is beautifully decorated. Anybody that's listening right now, you want to go to the Colony's Crossroads for your shopping because the decoration there is just beautiful. The landscape, it's all flowered with poinsettias. And I'm certain you'll run into some very bright beautiful things. One of my favorite things is to sit in the outdoor fireplace. It's just a community outdoor fireplace in front of those beautiful eateries. You can go congregate, take some photos, enjoy the Christmas lights. It's just spectacular. I love it. My kids love it. We go there every year. So Jeff, let's talk about your upcoming event, Holiday Miracles at the Colony's Crossroads.
Well, we started it, got to be 11, maybe 12 years ago, as we partnered originally with SEBA, which is the union for the sheriffs out here, because they did a shop with a cop. And so we really liked it and we wanted to grow it. And so unfortunately, we couldn't get enough sheriffs or police officers for the number of kids that needed help, right? For one shopping experience at one location at a time. And so we grew it to what is now called the Colony's Holiday Miracles. And it's an opportunity for first responders, both police officers, sheriffs, firemen, to engage and mentor on a shopping spree, to get an opportunity to one-on-one engage, so that the kids get a local hometown favorable opinion of their first responders. So a lot of people watch the news these days, and silly things are pontificated about the world that some of us don't agree with about the people that serve us every day. So it gives us an opportunity as a local business to create a mentorship for at least for a day. So what it is we have our vendors all at the Colonies, and Dick's, Target, and Kohl's all give discounts. We give them a shopping card, a credit card. We have what are called chaperones that go with them. We have rules set for those chaperones and how you can engage, what things the kids can buy, the order they got to buy them in for their family themselves. And it's really become a festive event. It's a whole day event on December 9th, basically starts early in the morning. We try to get the kids out there shopping with their families. The firemen come make pancakes for everyone. Chick-fil-A donates breakfast sandwiches. Starbucks donates coffee. We get donuts. And so it's an opportunity for them to shop. We also provide each of the families an entire holiday meal. So they get a turkey, they get all the fixins, they get salads. And for the families that need trees, we give them trees and ornaments. Most of it's donated by local businesses, and then my Colony's partners are generous to make the donation large enough so we can put on it the whole event and a big tent. I know you've been there. We'll get 1,000 to 1,500 people out there that day, between the chaperones, the volunteers, and the kids that are shopping. And now it's over. We do 200 to 250 kids. As many chaperones as we can get. It's kind of been limited to the number of chaperones we can get now, versus number of kids in needy. It's my goal one of these days to keep growing it so that all the kids out here at a holiday time, as many as we can at least, we're going to try to help. So I love it. My team runs it now. It's my idea, but they're better at it now. And the Lisa Schaefers and the Lorraine LeClairs of the world, have really taken it personal. And, Angel Rogers and, my brother comes out now as Santa Claus. So it's a real community event. Most of the mayors come out and help. They come in with Santa on the fire engine, and it's just a great, inspiring day. And I'm just glad to be part of it.
Absolutely. And I've had the honor and the blessing of being able to serve as one of the chaperones. As a Rotarian, our group has volunteered to go and be chaperones for the Colony's Holiday Miracles event. We wake up bright and early, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so that we're there to meet the kids and take them shopping. It's so much fun. Jeff, how do you find families that participate in the event, and how many families have enjoyed this event since the inception?
So we work with a lot of we work with as many nonprofits as we can in our valley. National Core, Children's Fund, Leroy's Boys Home. There's several other shelters that we work with that sometimes we can't name because we don't want people to know where we're at. And I just gave you the date, so sometimes I shouldn't have done that. But it's a collection of about a dozen nonprofits that choose the families. We don't choose the families as the businessmen. We choose to give anonymously to them almost, but it's the nonprofits that choose who the families are in need. So, but we try to work with the most. We get regular calls from different Ys, from different school districts, regularly, that have families that have become homeless and have needs. And we always seem to try to find a way. Our team always finds a way to kind of squeeze them in.
I love it. Seth, please talk about how the Empire Strykers supports the other organizations you're a part of, including National Core and Hope Through Housing.
Of course. So like my dad was just talking about, for, Core and Hope Through Housing, we attend the Holiday Miracles event and help the kids shop, do arts and crafts, and, juggle for the kids and with the kids with like a soccer ball. Also with Core and Hope Through Housing, we have our after school programs, where our players come in and, run the after school programs with one of the site coordinators, and a bunch of other property events, where they help flyer and stuff like that for upcoming games, or whatever National Core needs help with. The Empire is always there to assist with. We just recently did an event and work with San Antonio Hospital, where our players went in and, they visited some patients, giving them flowers and some gifts, and, talking to them. So that was really fun and cool. Two last ones, we do a lot of stuff with schools, where we have a Health's a Kick program, where we talk about, eating healthy and healthy living with the kids. And then also, our after school clinics, where obviously our players go out and coach the kids and do drills and games with stuff like that with them. And then finally, our City Partners, which is a new initiative that we started this year, where whatever City Partners we have signed, we give them, allocated tickets to every game. And then one game of the season will be, their actual city night, where hopefully, they get more tickets and more of the people from their cities come. So a new city initiative as well, to try to, get more fans from their cities. And obviously we'll do some more events within those cities as well, as they, arise with other local businesses.
Oh, how exciting. I love it. Jeff, what is it like to have the opportunity to leverage a professional soccer team alongside your affordable housing efforts and community building initiatives?
Well, I mean, it's all really, relates to each other. So it's actually, if, I probably should stop taking on community initiatives. So I have enough hours in the day to sleep. But the fact is, they're all related. It actually becomes easier, because the larger your army, the more you can deploy them. And so when it comes to National Core, it was created to stabilize families. Growing up as with a single mom, raising 4 kids, that was my partner Andy Wright and I, that was what we had in common. And so when we created National Core, it was with, a heartfelt mission that we lived, and we wanted to help, frankly, at-risk mom or at-risk kids with single moms. And, moms had to work. So we wanted to create after-school programs to keep the kids busy, because once upon a time in our country, I know it's hard to believe, moms sometimes didn't come home from work when the kids already had returned from school, right? It was commonplace in our world. Now, in this modern wokeness that we all live in, I mean, some of which is great, but others judging single moms that are working hard, don't get off till 5, their kids get off at 3:30, and something happens to the kid between 3:35, and then they're supposed to have the next door neighbor looking out for them, and something happens, and the mom's getting in trouble for it. To me, it's just crazy. So that was why we created it from the beginning, right? To try to give back, to try to help. The Strikers came in, and we always wanted the youth programs, and now we had professional soccer players that could come inspire them and lead them down a path. So they had someone to look up to, and it just wasn't, the next door neighbor. It was somebody they could idolize and that could talk to them, as Seth said, about how to eat healthy, how to study hard after school, about how getting into college. So, most of these kids that play for us have gone to college and played soccer in college, but even the ones that haven't can talk about the differences with it and the differences in their lives and really be able to relate to them. And that's what professional sports in our country has lost. It's the direct community connection. They become so important in their worlds, right? I mean, you watch Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on television, but you don't get to touch those people anymore, right? She appears in an audience, sings a song, he plays in a football game, but these kids get to touch, feel, and converse with our athletes, every week. After games, they get to talk, they get to get their autographs, or if athletes stay on the pitch, and we're only growing that. Forgot to mention, we're debuting our new partnership with Folds of Honor. Folds of Honor giving back, again, ties perfectly into this Army deployment because they are people that give scholarships to kids of fallen officers or fallen military personnel. And they've now started last year doing first responders. So, for when you lose your mom or your dad, and they were the primary breadwinner, and the kids are growing up, Folds of Honor is out there to try to help them with that safety net of helping them get into school so they can live the dream that their parents wanted them before they passed, right?
Yes, I'm telling you, Jeff, you are speaking my language, and I get excited when I hear and I see what you're doing in the community, because when you talk about these single moms, yes, I was raised by a single mom. She was widowed very young and was raising 2 children on her own, and she would work from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening. And thankfully, we had an amazing neighbor who coincidentally ended up being my stepfather, which God bless him. He's an amazing man. He's been in my life longer than he hasn't. But I love that you are seeing these communities through those eyes and through your experiences to be able to uplift those families and really give them, the opportunity to thrive and not fall through the cracks and fall apart like many often do, unfortunately. Seth, what do you say to other young professionals that are exploring their career journeys, and what are your thoughts on working in a family business?
For young people like myself trying to explore a career path or journey, I would say make sure that you really love and are invested in that journey that you want to take or are already a part of, because the last thing you want to do is do something every day that you don't love or enjoy. So make sure that you love it, and make sure you really want to do that for a long period of time. Also, obviously, work hard and, really trust the people that have more experience than you in that field or profession. You may think that you know it all, but, I promise you that there's someone that knows it more than you. And, lastly, just take the criticisms and critiques, because obviously being young, it's hard to take those things, especially maybe being new into the business. But, you just got to learn to kind of take it, and obviously have that perspective that obviously people around you are just trying to, improve you in the business. So that's my advice for, the young professionals on their career journeys. For the family business, I really enjoy the family business. I'm like, my dad said it is sometimes, irritable to him, but I'm always around the people in the family business. So we're always able to communicate with each other. There's good times, bad times, but I feel like, at least in this family business, we're able to get through the harder times, together, and, in more unison than maybe other places that aren't as tight knit as we are, and family businesses in general.
Oh, I love that. And Seth, while you're at it, please tell us how we can connect with the Empire Strykers.
Many ways. All of our social medias, we have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter /X, whatever you want to call it, YouTube. We have our website, www.theempirestrykers.com, and then also our new app coming out. So all social medias, a typical website, and now a new app coming out.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, Jeff, let's talk to you about what you're most excited about as you approach the Empire Strykers 2024 season alongside your son. And also, please share what you're most thankful for as you wrap up 2023 and we enter into 2024.
Well, we've got a lot of big announcements going to be coming up, I hope, here shortly. As the president of the league, I've been really pushing for a national broadcast deal. We're going to start the season on Twitch again, but hopefully we'll be able to announce a larger broadcast related to that family, but a lot easier to be able to find for people of your and I's generation. Twitch is great for, Gen Z folks that have learned that is a gaming app, but it really taught our league a lot of good analytics, and it's really good because it's bringing in the next, the Gen Z folks. But we need to reach in our league in order to grow. I think we need to reach all 4 generations that exist in the world today to the best of our ability. So we'll be announcing that hopefully by the end of the year, if not at the first of the year, that new broadcast deal. 2, I told you I'm really excited about the military partnership that we're creating with Folds of Honor. That's going to be recognized at every one of our games, and I'm hoping through the course of the year, if that all goes well, it creates a connectivity with the military and the first responders, just not an evening. That's what I want to. That's what my goal is. It's easy to go to military night and stand up and salute and say thank you one night. I want to say it every night we're on that pitch. I want the first responders and the military personnel to always feel that we respect and honor them. And so that's what the real partnership with Folds of Honors is about, to be an arena every night. So hopefully you'll get to see that coming up in an announcement. And then lastly, on the announcement, I'm really hoping next week you're going to see one of the largest signings in the MASL history. Which will help profile the league. Great for the market, great for national broadcasts, great for selling tickets, great for getting fans, and elevating the stature of our league by attracting world-class players to come back, like the time Landon Donovan, Jermaine Jones played in our league. That really helped us. And lastly, what I'm thankful for, I'm always thankful for people like you, Yvette, that continue to watch us in this world and make what we're trying to do even more special. The collaborations that we do and I do, sometimes I lead, sometimes I follow, but it's all those around you in your community that make a difference. So what I'm most thankful for is the community that I live in, the number of people that have embraced the different initiatives that we collaborate on, the number of people that tolerate me every day and sometimes always don't say things right. I'm just grateful and blessed that God's put me in a position that I can try to influence people to the best of my ability. But we're all limited in ability, right? We need each other, Yvette. So I'm grateful that I've had friends around me like you and others that continue to believe.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you so much, Seth, for sharing what we can expect in this new season with the Empire Strykers and your amazing work in the community. It's truly inspiring, it's truly uplifting, and it's truly a model for what our community needs today, right? And so I love this father-son duo today. Thank you again for being with us.
Thank you very, very much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, and happy Thanksgiving to you. All right, everybody. Don't forget to look for us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Check us out on scbrtalk.com. Don't miss my interview with Major Isaias Braga, who has been a Salvation Army officer assisting the needy for almost 25 years. He and his wife, Major Adelma Braga, are U.S. citizens who speak 3 languages, English, Spanish, and Portuguese. He was born in Brazil and has previously served the disadvantaged in Torrance, Redondo Beach, Broomfield, and Fort Collins, Colorado, as well as the Seattle metro area in Renton, Washington, and overseas in Brazil. Major Isaias presently oversees the Salvation Army operations in San Bernardino and 11 other cities. Next week, we will have Patricia Riera, the California State Executive Director for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. In this role, she manages a professionally dedicated staff and implements MAD core services within the state of California, which touches millions of people through research-based platforms, a mission-driven volunteer base, impactful victim advocacy, and an array of underage drinking prevention programs. Patricia has always held jobs where empathy and compassion are a big part of the job description. She spent decades developing and building business models and helping to prepare hundreds of students to be competitive for college, and is an accomplished veteran in corporate and nonprofit management. After a successful career as an entrepreneur and educational advocate, Patricia joined MAD in 2013, and you do not want to miss it. We will see you all next week.